From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thank you for joining us this morning. It is Monday, November 6th.
Let's get you started.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Hundreds rally and protest outside of an event supporting the Israeli defense. Why they're raising their voices.
He felt no way in his heart that he was wrong. It's pretty scary to me.
A scandal in the San Jose Police Department, the discovery that led an officer to resign.
These are the amenities that give people a new kind of transit experience.
How BART transformed the Bay Area and where it's heading now. Our special week-long series, BART on the Brink. It's a day of remembrance, how people in the Bay Area continue to celebrate their loved ones and their culture for Dia de los Muertos.
I'm grateful to be here now. They came over adversity and just kept grinding away, and now this is where they are.
Overcoming odds, an update on the Bay Area youth football team creating their own field of dreams. All right, welcome to the start of the work week, friends. I'm Gianna Franco, and so excited about the East Bay Panthers. Yay for them.
Yeah, they made it to the state championship down in San Diego. I'm Nicole Zalumis, and we have been following this team forever. Right. Call to action to get them a new field. Yeah. They got a new field. So I think we need to get them a bus, like a really nice one, so they can head down in style.
Yeah, we're so proud of them. We're going to be having a live interview coming up a little bit later, talking to their leaders, showing you some of the great moments of their win. But first of all, let's talk about what we are all facing out on the roads and otherwise, and that is the wet weather. Jess.
Absolutely. Gianna, you're going to be able to highlight this more than me, but I know the roads are slick out there this morning. The rain is falling here in the Bay Area. This is the time of year that it truly feels like fall. So let's dive into our forecast. The Sierra getting highlighted with snow this morning, and then back here in the Bay in our neck of the woods, we're dealing with some light showers sweeping their way through. A pair of cold fronts moving their way in today, allowing for these cloudy skies outside. A little bit of rain in the forecast, and daytime highs sitting in the 60s. Yes, it's a cool day for us today, thanks to the system moving its way in, and we're seeing these light scattered showers widespread throughout the Bay Area. It was a lot heavier within this past hour up in the North Bay, but it's starting to lose its energy. So don't be shocked if you just have to turn on the windshield wipers for a little bit. Be careful there on the roads as we head into the early morning hours, and then we'll continue to keep a close eye on this system as it moves its way off into the east. But we're starting to see clearer conditions up near Berkeley. Just about 5-10 minutes ago, we were seeing a little bit heavier pockets move their way into those foothills. Now, waking up this morning and heading into this afternoon, we'll top off around 1/10 of an inch anywhere from Calistoga down into Concord. Less impressive numbers along our coastline, a little bit more impressive numbers up in the higher elevations near Ben Lomond. That's what we're expecting before this system dries up and moves off into the east. And this is a part of a larger system just in the Pacific Northwest, centralized right there. As we continue to track that on Futurecast, it loses its energy pretty quick, and then suddenly we're talking about sunny skies and 70s into our Wednesday forecast. More on that in a bit, but for now, over to you, Jean.
All right, Jessica, thank you. Let's talk about those roadways right now. If you're getting ready to head towards the Golden Gate Bridge, and as she mentioned, we are dealing with those slick surfaces out there, and you can see that a bit here in this live shot. You know, overnight, pretty foggy along 101 out of Marin County this morning, so keep that in mind. That could still be a bit of an issue in some spots, so as you commute along 101, keep your eyes peeled. Bay Bridge Toll Plaza metering lights are on, and that is a slow ride for anyone heading into San Francisco this morning. Our slowest approach still continues to be that ride off of 80 westbound. The East Shore Freeway is slow and go from Hercules all the way down towards the Bay Bridge. Now, if you are taking BART this morning, 50-plus trains running on time. No delays on any of the lines, so traffic is moving along pretty well if you want to skip the roadways and use public transit instead.
Do you ride BART? 500,000 people a day used to, but the pandemic and crime scared most away.
It's lost about 60% of its average daily riders.
Now, BART is on the brink. All this week, we expose what's wrong and what it will take for BART to survive.
So many of your neighbors use BART every day, but looking live right now really tees up appropriately what we're talking about. This is a live picture on the Blue Line headed out of Daly City. You see a lot of empty seats there. That's one reason why BART is on the brink. Hard to believe there was a time when we didn't have this transit system in the Bay Area. BART on the Brink and your community station going deep this week on a promise that was made to you 51 years ago. that BART would take transportation into the future. Nicole, we're talking about the promise of comfort, reliability, and safety.
Well, at least they have plastic seats, as you were showing there. They're empty right now, but at least they're no longer the old fabric ones. You know, people really embraced BART, but somewhere along the way, things changed, and now the agency is struggling to lure riders into the trains, Gianna.
And that's why we are focusing on BART all this week. And John Ramos begins our week-long series digging deep on reports that concerns over safety, reliability, the cleanliness plaguing BART even decades later. So it begs the question, what happened?
It was in 1947 that a joint Army-Navy report was released recommending that some kind of tube or tunnel be built under the bay to transport troops or material if something should happen to the bridges. From it, the dream of BART was born. As the years went by, the concern was no longer about moving troops, but about moving cars.
The Bay Bridge was already, packed every morning with cars, and so there had to be a way to relieve that because there was, people weren't going to be able to get across the bridge anymore.
Mike Healy wrote the book on BART, literally. As unofficial historian and a longtime spokesman for the agency, he was there in 1972 when the system first started operating, and says those were heady times for the engineers who approached the challenge as if it were a moonshot.
BART was the first all-new rail rapid transit system to be built in this country since 1907. So it was considered the space-age system at the time, and it was very exciting.
The unofficial slogan among planners was "Pamper the passenger," and magazine ads across the country trumpeted the comfort of this Tomorrowland ride, promising safe, relaxing travel.
These are the amenities that give people a new kind of transit experience.
I think it was, a very exciting time for the public and the riding public, and they seemed to accept it. There are always little problems, but they seemed to accept it, and ridership grew.
Did it ever? As the population of the East Bay grew, BART cars became cramped at commute hours, and with more people came more problems. Riders had to put up with rude, antisocial behavior and open drug use in aging cars that were often dirty and smelled bad. And then the pandemic hit, and people suddenly felt they had other options.
We have deep concerns about BART. It's lost about 60% of its average daily riders.
Jim Wunderman is CEO of the Bay Area Council, an organization that laid the framework for BART back in the 1950s. He says over the years, the BART board has become focused on various social equity issues, establishing policies that have diminished safety on the trains. He says a recent poll shows that customers are avoiding BART for that reason.
The public doesn't see BART as a social service agency. They're not looking for BART to solve the world's problems. They're looking for BART to provide safe, clean, reliable transit. And I think that to some degree, the board got off in some other directions and, needs to really focus on those things, do those things well, and you're going to win people back.
So has an agency that runs on rails managed to take a wrong turn? Many believe so. But it still has an important role to play in connecting the Bay Area, and there are those who appreciate that.
I've been out here like 10 months. I'm from Louisiana, and they don't have anything like this out there. It's a good little system. Y'all just don't know what y'all have out here. You should enjoy it, use it.
Mike Healy agrees.
Not all cities have anything close to what BART is like. Now, I think the Bay Area is very lucky to have had BART over the years.
The promise still exists, even if not fully delivered. But to convince riders to return, most agree that something big needs to happen to get BART back on track.
As part of our week-long look at BART, we wanted to hear more from the riders who use the service each and every day. So Sean Chitnis joins us live this morning in the East Bay with more on what riders shared with him about their experience. Sean?
Hey, Gianna, good morning. Yeah, we're here at the Pleasant Hill BART station. Things are starting to pick up. Of course, it is that busy hour. And this was the time that we decided to see if we could speak to some riders along the yellow line here in the East Bay and get a sense of what they thought. There were some who were just using it for the day, others who use it regularly. And among those, we met one woman who started using BART just in the last year and says so far she's actually had a pretty positive experience. Alicia Villegas is a relatively new BART rider who says it's a better way for her to get to work each day.
I take the BART every morning, 5 days a week into the city. I always take this train. It's actually the best train stop in all of the area.
The Walnut Creek resident rides the yellow line to San Francisco after driving herself to work felt like a waste of time.
I didn't want to sit in 2 hours of traffic every day.
She knows there are concerns about using BART these days, but hasn't had any issues for the past year when she made the switch.
It's safe. It's pretty quiet for the most part. No crime so far.
Alicia gets asked about her experience from others worried about using BART.
I wouldn't get on a train at 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night, but if you're going and coming during regular business hours, everyone's commuting just like you.
But the benefits around rush hour keep Alicia coming back and make her want to recommend BART to others.
I would, for sure. Save gas, save time.
And so that was, of course, one perspective. We did hear from others in the short time that we were here along the yellow line. And some were saying that really BART is their only option. It's not necessarily the best experience, but it's the only way that they can get to work each day, and that's why they continue to use it. So we are going to travel throughout the Bay Area this week, talk to people at different stations, going in different directions on different lines to bring more perspectives to you throughout the week. Gianna, back to you.
Yeah, Sean, that commute can get tough for a lot of people, especially on the roadways. Thank you so much. Well, our special series, BART on the Brink, continues later today with a look at the finances behind the fiscal cliff.
The pandemic was not of their choosing. It happened. But what they failed to do was make any of the adjustments in the system with the collapse of ridership.
Lauren Toms will look at BART's revenue structure and how it played a key part in its fiscal collapse. And on days like today, when you're dealing with some of that wet weather out there, you know, a lot of people would turn to BART to avoid any, issues on the roadways. It makes the commute that much longer.
And I'm frankly surprised that in some of our live looks into BART this morning, and the blue line, the yellow line, that it's mostly empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to look at, the reports on the road and whatnot, or watch Gianna. But as I was coming in today, there was a 4-car accident on the other side. So that would be, like you said, a perfect day to jump on the BART train so you can get into the city a lot quicker.
Well, we definitely want to hear from you, so make sure you chime in on social media. Use the hashtag KPIX.